You're gonna have to forgive the negativity in this video. I had plans while I was out for the week to come back and make a video talking about how just absolutely fucking nuts Alhaitham is, because he's really, really good, and if you don't have him and you're on the fence, I really recommend pulling him. But then I saw the leaks for Dehya, and now that Alhaitham is old news, I have really got to talk about this. But first, it's time to bring back an old tradition. Veteran gamers are going to remember this from Mie Miko's release, but I'm really going to need something to help me get through this. Come on, you son of a bitch, open. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, now that we're all properly prepared and ready to talk about this, let's go ahead and get it over with. For those of you that don't know or unaware, Dehya's been a character that's been in the game since around version 3.0. Originally, she wasn't playable, she was just a character that we interacted with through the story, and she has one of the most interesting designs. She's one of the very few tan-skinned characters in Sumeru, which, you know, you can have your opinion on that. And she's also one of the few mommy characters we got in Sumeru, which I personally don't give a shit, but other people seem to. And she's also hot as fuck, alright? We're not gonna beat her on the bush. That being said, because she's had such a prominent role in the story, because she is the way that she is, because she has the personality that she does, people have been really, really excited for Dehya. And recently, the leaks came out, and to say that Dehya looks like she's gonna be terrible is the grossest understatement I've ever said. Now, before we get further in this video, I need to preface two things. One, this is beta footage, so there is a high probability that it will change as time goes on. Two, I cannot show you these things, because if I do, Genshin Impact will snipe me, because I already have blacklisted me from the content creator program, so we're not even going to get into that. But if you really want to see what I'm talking about, you can find the videos very easily on YouTube with a Google search. Also, there's a website called Honey Hunter Impact. If you just go to Google, look it up, it's the first thing. You can go there, go to pre-release characters and Fly Dehya. You can find our entire scaling there. I will be talking about this information because this is the most updated stuff. Also, another thing you need to keep in mind is Dehya will be buffed this Thursday because the way the patch cycle works. Don't ask how I know that. I have people inside that have regularly discussed it with me, but that all being said, Dehya looks like she's going to be terrible. Dehya's kit, for the people that don't know, is roughly a HP scaling, what's the best term for it, bruiser or damage dealer. She's some kind of tank hybrid. And I say hybrid because it's very hard to deduce an exact role for her. For her elemental skill, she slams down this little gravestone or this item, and then it will do a little bit of damage, and then every time you get hit, the totem will absorb half of the damage. So basically, it's a shit shield. So shields, how shields work in Genshin is you take hit, they absorb the brunt of the damage, and then that's it. If the damage exceeds the shield's HP, then the shield breaks, you take that extra damage. This thing stays up, has an HP pool, but if you get hit, it doesn't absorb all the damage, it only absorbs a little bit of the damage. Now, had this been an AoE shield, kinda, that can absorb all damage and will eventually break when it runs out of HP, that would have been good, but no. What Genshin decided to do instead was to make a character that can only absorb half of the damage, and then the other half gets transferred to you. However, there is one thing I did forget to mention for this elemental skill. It also has this effect called a red flaming mane. It might have changed since then. I am going off of the original leaks. Apparently, when the totem is out, you have the ability to strike down, but only one time, and it has a pretty good scaling. Also, not like that really matters that much, only being able to use it one time throughout a full duration seems kind of useless, but hey, you know, different strokes for different folks, I guess. Her elemental burst is pretty straightforward. It is just a transformation state, kind of like Zhao or Sino, where she will cast aside her blade, and she will use her fist, pummeling enemies to death. Now, that sounds really cool. Casting aside your blade to use your elemental burst and just fucking beat the shit out of enemies in the Metal Gear Rising meme. That's pretty cool. Really like that. The problem is, when you're trying to beat up armored titans with your bare fucking fist, it doesn't really do jack shit, and Dehya's kit really reflects that. To put in perspective how absolutely dog-ass her elemental burst is, let me just put it like this. The scaling on Dehya's elemental burst is a little bit over 200% damage scaling. Now, if you don't understand why that's so bad, let me paint a picture for you. There is this really dope character. His name is Zhao. I'm sure you've heard of him. He is one of my favorite characters in the game. Well, Zhao was in his elemental burst state, much like Dehya. He gives himself Anemo infusion, much like Dehya, and he also increases the damage numbers of all of his attacks. This includes his elemental skill, his plunge attacks, his normal attacks, his charge attacks, etc., etc. He increases the damage done by 95%, which is a base modifier added onto the original modifier, which is then calculated when a damage number is shown based off crit damage, Anemo bonus damage, the enemy's defense stat, etc., etc., etc. Also level. Now, let me put it like this. Zhao's auto attacks in his 18-second long burst have very similar modifiers to Dehya's auto attacks and her 4-second long burst. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, Dehya will hit more. I'd like to take this time to remind you that Zhao is a fucking polearm character. Not sure if you know this. They have one of the fastest attack speeds in the game. So yes, Dehya might be hitting more than Zhao in that 4 seconds, but you know who's going to be hitting infinitely more than Dehya in his 18-second long burst? Fucking Zhao. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, okay, Soul, why are you comparing an animo main DPS to a fucking Pyro Bruiser character? Well, I'm not comparing the two to draw a conclusion between the two as they fill a similar role. No, I'm just using this as a way to elaborate and kind of push forward the instance that her damage modifiers are not good. Like, you don't see anybody building a fucking auto attack Zhao build, and if you do, you're only seeing it as like a meme build. Nobody's doing it seriously. But hey, with Dehya, you can now essentially do the same thing seriously. Now, here's the real kick in the nuts. This is the reason why this is massively an issue. If Dehya had the ability to naturally proc elemental burst effects like Jingshou, Yelan, maybe Raiden, etc., then it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But guess what Dehya can't do? That's right, baby. Your only way of buffing Dehya's damage is not through vapes, not through elemental reactions, or at least not consistently through elemental reactions. Your only way is to buff her specifically, which just makes her absolute dog shit. Which, like, that hurts me on, like, a spiritual level, because I was really looking forward to Dehya. I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably wasn't going to pull on her because they just had to fucking rerun Shenhua right next to Dehya, but that really hurts me that this character that I was super excited for, once again, is destined to be dog shit. Now, I'm gonna give some of you a little bit of copium you can smoke on when you're telling your friends about why you're still gonna wish on Dehya. She might get changed. It is very improbable she might be buffed, but I'm also not going to tell you to keep your hopes up very significantly for 2 reasons. One, the main reason is, characters in beta typically are buffed, yes, but never substantially. Like, not even once are they ever buffed substantially. However, in this specific scenario, if they just change the way her elemental burst can proc effects, she will be significantly more viable, but unless they do that, which I highly doubt they will, I would not get your hopes up very significantly. For my second reason, it's fucking miHoYo. miHoYo has a really bad habit of releasing characters that were just fucking bad. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but 99% of the units that have come out recently are either terrible, Archons, or that's it. They're just either terrible or Archons. The only character that I can remember in recent time that's come out that's been good on day one that wasn't a fucking Archon was Alhaitham. That being said, it's a lot like miHoYo has a quota of shit characters to release, and I guess it's just another habit of the 1.5 curse coming out, or the 0.5 curse coming out. Not sure if y'all know this, but Eula, argumentatively one of the worst 5-stars in Genshin Impact, if you don't count Chi-Chi, originally came out in version 1.5, and then Yae Miko, who is one of the fucking worst characters that's ever come out, also came out in 2.5, and now in 3.5 we have Dehya. So if history repeats itself, which it probably is, the torch is going to get passed down, and we're going to have another character just absolutely dumpster on in the time being. Now, I am going to say one more thing as like a kind of preface piece. A lot of YouTubers the day Dehya comes out, and a lot of people until Dehya comes out, are going to be saying things like, oh my god, she's fucking nuts, she looks crazy. The fucking official Dehya main subreddit is currently in just full-on doom posting mode because it is so blatantly obvious looking at her kit that it is bad. Not only that, I didn't even mention some of the fucking really bad things. Like, she has HP scaling. This is a character that's supposed to be a DPS bruiser. She has almost no HP scaling in her kit, and what little she does have is locked behind her constellations, alright? And guess what? That is her fucking passive. Not pyro bonus damage, not crit rate, not crit damage, fucking HP percent. This is not like a Hu Tao situation where she can get anything good out of that. That is horrible, alright? So, again, do not listen to the YouTubers that are going to be saying, oh my god, she's fucking nuts, you gotta pull for her. There is official leaked footage that I will not say the name of, where they were rocking her crit rate at 70, her crit damage at a little over 200, with her signature weapon, and they were not even hitting 8k in her burst form, which is fucking pathetic. That all being said, gamers, I'm kind of sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed. I was expecting Dehya to be good. It turns out she's not. To anybody that's still wishing for her because you like her, by all means, go for it. This is a fucking piss-easy game. Just don't bring her into Abyss. You'll get mollywopped. Other than that, you know, I wish you guys luck with your summons. Hopefully you can make it work. If you can't, tough shit, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's about it. If you like the video, like. If you dislike it, dislike it. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna wait like 5 seconds for end recording for that sweet, sweet 10-minute timer. See you next video. Peace, peace.